April was busy across pop, hip-hop, K-pop, and legacy catalogs. Here's the month in a quick recap. New albums, chart moves, tour news, a few legal and business updates, and some anniversary looks back. Hybe just posted its strongest first quarter ever, with revenue hitting 698.3 billion Korean won, or about $473 million. The company said the jump came from BTS's long-awaited comeback, along with steady growth across its other artists. Artist-driven revenue rose 25% year-over-year to 403.7 billion won. Recorded music revenue doubled to 271.5 billion won. That boost was helped by BTS's comeback album, Erarang, which debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200 and held that spot for 3 straight weeks. For Hybe, the bigger picture is that BTS is back in full touring mode after the group's hiatus, which began in 2022 during South Korea's mandatory military service period. BTS started its world tour in April, and Hybe says that tour, plus major comebacks from Tomorrow by Together, Le Seraphim, TBUS, ELAT, and Cordis, should keep the momentum going in the second quarter, and the tour itself is huge. Hybe says there are now 85 stadium shows scheduled across 34 countries, making it one of the biggest global tours in K-pop history. BTS was in the middle of the US leg after playing Tampa from April 25th to 28th, and the group is set to hit about a dozen North American cities by the end of the run. Next, a new Ariana Grande album announcement. Ariana Grande has announced her new album, Petal, and it's set to arrive on July 31st, 2026. She shared the news on Instagram along with the album art that makes it her 8th studio album and her first major new release in this next phase of her career. The album is coming out through Republic Records, and multiple sources say Grande co-wrote and executive produced it with longtime collaborator Ilya Salmanzadeh. In her April 18th Instagram video, Grande described Petal as something full of life, growing through the cracks of something cold, hard, and challenging. The timing matters because the album arrives just ahead of the Eternal Sunshine Tour, which starts on June 6th in Oakland. One report describes that opening stop as a 3-night run. Another says this is Grande's first major tour in more than 6 years, with her last being the 2019 Sweetener World Tour. Petal is also being framed as the follow-up to 2024's Eternal Sunshine, which was nominated for 3 Grammy Awards, 10 years back now. Beyoncé's Lemonade is now 10 years old, and the article treats it as more than a hit album. Released in April 2016, it arrived as a surprise on Tidal. It also premiered as a film on HBO, which made the project feel bigger than a standard rollout. What made Lemonade stand out then still matters now. The piece says it turned private pain into public language. It used music, film, poetry, and imagery to give emotional rupture a wider cultural meaning. Warsan Shire's poetry runs through the project, and the visuals are rooted in Black Southern life, giving the album a very specific voice and point of view. The songs landed on both levels. Tracks like the song Formation and the song Hold Up worked as cultural statements, but they were also commercial successes. On the song Sorry, co-producer Hayes said he got a demo through Beyoncé's team and immediately knew where it was headed. As he put it, I knew it was for Beyoncé when I started working on it. The article also links Lemonade to Beyoncé's later move deeper into country music. That path runs through her surprise 2016 performance of the song Daddy Lessons with the Chicks at the Country Music Association Awards, which drew criticism from some country traditionalists. But in this telling, that moment was part of a longer arc that later led to the album Cowboy Carter and a Grammy win for Best Country Album. Taylor Swift has done it again on Billboard's Adult Pop Airplay chart. Elizabeth Taylor moves up from number 11 to number 10, giving Swift 3 songs in the top 10 at the same time. That's the big headline here, because Billboard says she's the first artist ever to land 3 simultaneous top 10s on this chart. It also pushes her total to 35 appearances between number 1 and number 10. That keeps extending her lead on a list that dates back to March 1996. The other 2 songs in that adult pop top 10 are Opalite and The Fate of Ophelia. Both have already spent time at number 1. Opalite ruled for 3 weeks in February and March. The Fate of Ophelia held the top spot for 4 weeks, last November and December. Elizabeth Taylor is also showing up across the rest of the radio charts. The song holds at its peak so far at number 13 on Adult Contemporary and number 17 on Pop Airplay, while climbing to number 25 on Radio Songs. The Fate of Ophelia stays at number 7 on Radio Songs, and Opalite holds at number 8. Billboard also notes that Swift now has 15 adult pop airplay number 1s, tying Maroon 5. Pink sits third with 20 top 10 hits and 10 number 1s. And in Boston, all 3 Swift songs were among the 10 most played tracks on WBMX Mix 104.1 during the April 10th to 16th tracking week. Spotify turned 20, and to mark the anniversary, it published its first ever all-time rankings. The big headline, Taylor Swift is now Spotify's most streamed artist of all time, ahead of Bad Bunny. Drake, The Weeknd, and Ariana Grande round out the top 5. The platform also revealed its top songs, albums, podcasts, and audiobooks. Bad Bunny's Un Verano Sin Ti is Spotify's most streamed album of all time. The Weeknd's Blinding Lights leads the songs list, and The Joe Rogan Experience is Spotify's most streamed podcast. There's a lot of Spotify history behind those numbers. The company was founded in 2006, started counting streams in October 2008, added podcasts in 2015, and brought audiobooks to premium in 2023. Spotify says these rankings cover nearly 18 years of global listening, though it didn't break down exactly how the data was collected. One detail that stands out is how Taylor Swift's relationship with the platform has changed over time. She pulled her catalog from Spotify in 2014, returned in 2017, and is now at the very top of its all-time artist list. Meanwhile, Spotify's yearly artist crown in 2025 went to Bad Bunny for the 4th time, after Swift had held that spot for the previous 2 years. Back to BTS and the road. BTS opened the North American leg of their A-Re-Rang World Tour in Tampa on April 25th. That launch comes after a busy stretch that already saw the group kick off the tour in Goyang, South Korea, and release A-Re-Rang on March 20th. The album is being billed as their first studio release in nearly 6 years, and their first since all 7 members completed South Korea's mandatory military service by June 2025. The tour itself is a major run. It stretches across more than 85 dates in 34 cities and 23 countries from April 2026 through March 2027. In the U.S., the Tampa stop marked the start of the North American leg, after the group's last performance together in the country back in 2022. The staging is built around a 360-degree in-the-round setup with no designated front, and the production in Goyang leaned hard into scale. According to the review, the show used moving stages, drone cameras, fire effects, confetti, fireworks, and more. The setlist also mixes new material and older fan favorites, opening with Hooligan and moving through songs like Aliens, Run BTS, Swim, and Merry Go Round. There's also an interactive piece built into the run. The article says BTS is doing a BTS karaoke segment, where 2 songs are chosen live from audience suggestions. In Goyang, that led to Take 2 and DNA. On top of that, the official tour site limits buyers to 4 tickets per event, while resale prices were already showing a wide spread on secondary platforms. And beyond the tour itself, BTS also announced 2 A-Re-Rang immersive experiences. The City Las Vegas, set for May 20th through May 31st in Las Vegas, and the City Busan, set for June 5th through June 21st. Now, to a fashion film crossover. Lady Gaga and Doechii have dropped the video for Runway, and it leans all the way into fashion fantasy. The clip was directed by Paris Goebel, and it puts the 2 artists in surreal, campy, high-fashion looks as they strut through a set built for drama. The song is their first collaboration, and it's tied to The Devil Wears Prada 2. Billboard says it first surfaced in the trailer. Variety says it plays during a behind-the-scenes moment at Milan Fashion Week as models get ready. The film also brings back the original cast, including Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, and Stanley Tucci. It hits theaters on May 1st. Runway itself arrived on streaming on April 10th and opened at number 50 on the Billboard Hot 100. It also pulled in strong streaming numbers right away, with more than 2.9 million unfiltered Spotify streams. It debuted at number 32 on the global chart and number 25 in the US chart with over 127,000 streams there. The collaboration also fits an admiration that was already out in the open. Doechii has called herself a huge Lady Gaga fan, and Gaga has said Doechii came out of the gate with, quote, a pen that feels immediately legendary. And in the song's lyrics, they sell the whole idea in one line. I can turn a dance floor into a runway. Madonna had a full month, too. Madonna is officially taking Confessions back to the dance floor. She says Confessions on a Dance Floor Part 2 is set for July 3rd, 2026, and she's framing it as a sequel to her 2005 album, Confessions on a Dance Floor. It'll also be her first full-length studio album since Madame X in 2019. She's been building to this for a while. Madonna first hinted at the follow-up in late 2024, posting from the studio with producer Stuart Price. More recently, she changed her Instagram bio to a lyric from Hung Up, Time Goes By So Slowly. The rollout got a major public moment at Coachella, where Madonna showed up as a surprise guest during Sabrina Carpenter's set in Indio, California. The two performed Vogue and Like a Prayer. Madonna said it felt like a full circle moment since she had performed at Coachella 20 years earlier. She also thanked Sabrina on stage, calling the appearance a thrill. There's more happening around the new era too. Madonna was recently spotted in Venice, filming part of a 2-episode arc for the upcoming season of Seth Rogen's The Studio on Apple TV. And on top of that, she says some archived Confessions-era costume pieces have gone missing, including a light purple corset and a darker purple jacket. She's asked anyone with leads to contact her team and offered a reward for their safe return. aespa has announced its 2026 through 2027 live tour, Sync Complexity, along with a new album called Lemonade, due out on May 29th. The rollout puts the group back on the road across Asia, North America, Latin America, the UK, and Europe. It also sets up the first full-length aespa release in 2 years. The tour starts in Seoul on August 7th for 2 nights, then moves to Taipei on August 11th. From there, aespa heads through 3 Latin American stops, including São Paulo, Santiago, and Lima, before picking up the North American leg with Mexico City on September 11th and Hamilton, Ontario on September 15th. Before the tour even begins, fans will get a chance to lock in tickets. WWE Verse membership presale registration runs through April 29th. Then, the WWE Verse membership presale starts on May 6th, with the general on sale that same day for the United States, Canada, the UK, and Europe. Latin America goes on sale May 8th. aespa is also set to play Lollapalooza in Chicago on August 2nd, which reports say will serve as an early preview of the show. The new album, Lemonade, lands on May 29th at 1 p.m. KST, or midnight Eastern Time. It has 10 tracks. It follows 2024's Armageddon, which debuted at number 25 on the Billboard 200, plus Whiplash, which reached number 8 on the Billboard Global 200. The tour is being described as a reworked concert experience tied to aespa's Lemonade universe, with new performances, stage design, and visual storytelling. That run wraps with a 9-city European leg that opens in Manchester in January 2027 and closes in Paris on February 2nd. A veteran rock band teases what's next. The Rolling Stones are teasing a new album title, with billboards popping up around the world, and the big clue seems to be foreign tongues. The band's official Instagram account has shared images from places including Sydney and Paris with the same phrase repeated in different languages. That points pretty strongly to the new record's title. It's the first clear sign of a follow-up to Hackney Diamonds, which came out more than 2 years ago, and it lines up with what Ronnie Wood said last September when he told reporters fans would be getting a new Rolling Stones album in 2026. Wood has also been busy on his own. Earlier this week, he announced a rare solo show in London this August, his first full live solo set in over 16 years. He said, "I'm looking forward to kicking ass with my back catalog and some new songs. Look out, London." The 78-year-old guitarist will play the O2 Kentish Town Forum on 21 August, with singer-songwriter Imelda May joining him. He's also confirmed a second date at Cologne's eWork on 3rd September. Taylor Swift was also in the news for a different reason. Taylor Swift has filed 3 trademark applications in the United States to help protect her voice and image from AI misuse. 2 of the filings cover short audio phrases in her voice. The third covers an Eras Tour image of Taylor Swift on stage with a pink guitar. The applications were filed with the United States Patent and Trademark Office through TAS Rights Management, and they were first spotted by Gerben IP. In the audio filings, the phrases are, quote, "Hey, it is Taylor Swift," end quote, and quote, "Hey, it is Taylor," end quote. The image filing covers a familiar stage shot of Taylor Swift in a glittering outfit with a guitar and concert lighting behind her. This move comes after Taylor Swift has already been hit with AI-generated forgeries, including fake political material and explicit deepfake images. One report said a fake endorsement involving Donald Trump circulated during the 2024 election cycle. It also said explicit images of Taylor Swift spread widely enough that X temporarily blocked searches for her name. Trademark attorney Josh Gerben said the legal angle matters because A, I can create new voice mimicry without copying a real recording. In his view, registering specific phrases could help Taylor Swift challenge not just exact copies, but also imitations that are confusingly similar. He also said the image filing may give her team more ground to act against manipulated or AI-generated images that use her likeness. Taylor Swift already has more than 50 trademarks tied to her name, albums, and lyrics. She registered phrases like, quote, "this sick beat," end quote, "we never go out of style," end quote, back in 2014. So this latest filing fits a long pattern of protecting her brand, with the added focus now on AI. Another new release, this time from Duran Duran. Duran Duran have released a new single, Free to Love, with Nile Rodgers, and it marks their first new music of 2026. The track arrived on April 23rd, alongside a video directed by Jonas Åkerlund and starring British broadcaster Clara Amfo. The release also shines a light on a partnership that goes all the way back to 1984, when Rodgers helped with The Reflex, the band's first Billboard Hot 100 #1 hit. Since then, he's worked with Duran Duran again and again, from Wild Boys to albums like Notorious, Astronaut, Paper Gods, and most recently, 2023's Dance Macabre. Nick Rhodes says the two acts share a belief that music should emit positive energy. He describes Free to Love as a call for peace, hope, and understanding. Rodgers puts it more simply, saying that whatever chaos is happening outside, inside the studio, they are free to love their peace. The timing also fits a busy year ahead for the band. Duran Duran are set to top the bill at London's BST Hyde Park on July 5th, with special guests, Scissor Sisters. They previously headlined the event in 2022 and even turned up as surprise guests for Sabrina Carpenter last summer. After that, they're also scheduled for Beach Life Festival, a multi-night Las Vegas residency at the Fontainebleau, and a month-long run through Europe. Justin Bieber is back on the United Kingdom charts after his Coachella headlining set, and this week, the biggest move is still a near miss. On the official hip-hop and rhythm and blues singles chart, Yukon jumps to second, while Rain Dance by Dave and Thames stays locked at #1. That matters because Yukon has been hanging around for a while. It first arrived at #5 in July 2025, has now spent 30 weeks on the tally, and has hit second in 5 of those weeks without ever reaching the top spot. Bieber has only one #1 on this chart so far, and that came with That Power, alongside will.i.am, back in April 2013. Even Baby, one of his earliest breakout hits, only got as high as second in 2010. Now a Bieber-only version of Baby enters at #3 this week. There's more movement lower down too. Confident, his collaboration with Chance the Rapper, starts at #4. So after Coachella, Bieber has 11 hit songs showing up on at least one United Kingdom chart. He also has 5 different albums on the United Kingdom charts as well. Eminem kept it more personal. In a BBC radio interview, Eminem said he wants attention for the music, but not the constant spotlight that comes with fame. As he put it, he wants to be able to go out in public, eat a sandwich, and be left alone. It's a simple image, but it says a lot about how he sees celebrity. He also said he was never someone who chased attention in the first place. For him, the goal wasn't public recognition for its own sake. It was to get to the point where the artists he grew up listening to would know his name and respect his work. That tension between being heard and being watched is something Eminem has also worked into his music. The article points to the song The Monster, his song with Rihanna, where he talks about how fame can distort things and leave you feeling confused. So, this latest interview doesn't really sound like a new complaint. It sounds more like, Eminem spelling out a balance he's been trying to protect for years: respect for the music and space to live his life. Then there's Iron Maiden's 50-year look back. Iron Maiden is getting a new big-screen look at its own history. Burning Ambition, also called Iron Maiden Burning Ambition, draws on archival footage, interviews, and fan voices to trace the band's 50 years. It starts with Steve Harris forming the group in 1975, then follows the lineup changes, the touring pressure, and the comeback era that came after. The documentary puts a lot of weight on how the band built its identity with fans around the world. It features members past and present, but it also leans on fan perspectives to tell the story. Javier Bardem, Lars Ulrich, Chuck D, Simon Gallup, Gene Simmons, Tom Morello, and Scott Ian are among those involved. The review says that approach works because Iron Maiden's story isn't just about the band itself. It's about the people who've followed it for decades. Much of the emotional weight comes from the exits and returns. Adrian Smith left in 1990, Bruce Dickinson left in 1993, and both came back in 1999. Dickinson also talks about the strain of constant touring, including the time he asked manager Rod Smallwood for fewer dates, saying, "You can't restring a voice." The film also touches on Dickinson's throat cancer diagnosis in 2014, when his first question was when he could get back to singing. The documentary doesn't shy away from loss either. It includes the deaths of Paul Di'Anno and Clive Burr and Nico McBrain's retirement from touring in 2024 after a stroke the previous year. The review says Blaze Bayley is not blamed for the band's downturn. It also notes that Iron Maiden's reunion era is now longer than the years before 1999. Burning Ambition opens in theaters on May 7th for a limited run, just as Iron Maiden continues its 50th anniversary year with the Run for Your Lives tour and a 2-day Edfest in Nebworth, England. Rosalia is set to receive the International Songwriter of the Year award at the Ivors 2026. The presentation is planned for May 21st at GROHV House in London. The Ivors Academy says the award recognizes an international songwriter whose released songs have made a cultural and commercial impact in the UK over the past year. In Rosalie's case, that recognition comes after a busy stretch that includes her 4th studio album, Lux, released last year, and her win for International Artist of the Year at this year's Brit Awards. Lux is a big part of the story here. The album includes songs written in 13 different languages, including English, Spanish, Arabic, and German. It also brought UK chart attention through tracks like Rayleigh Quia La Phrla and Berghain, which features collaborations with Bjerk and EEV 2 more. In its announcement, the Ivors Academy praised the reach of her writing. Chief Executive Roberto Neri said, "Rosalia's songwriting has captured audiences around the globe and broken down barriers and borders with lyrics in more than 13 languages." The Academy also said this will be her first Ivor Novello Award. The ceremony is still ahead, but the recognition is already clear. Rosalia is being singled out not just for international success, but for songwriting that has clearly cut through in the UK. Rihanna's album Anti has now spent 520 weeks on the Billboard 200. That means it has officially crossed the 10-year mark on the chart. It's her first album to last that long on the Billboard 200, and it follows the record's 2-week run at number 1 when it first peaked. The milestone also puts Rihanna in a strong historical position. She's tied with Taylor Swift for 14 Billboard Hot 100 number 1 songs, the 3rd most ever, behind the Beatles with 20 and Mariah Carey with 19. Her catalog is still moving on the album charts, too. Anti is currently on 4 Billboard rankings, though it slips on all 4 this week. It drops to number 6 on Top R&B albums, number 14 on Top R&B hip-hop albums, and number 46 on Top streaming albums. Her other long-running title, Good Girl Gone Bad, is also holding on. It's now up to 230 weeks on the Billboard 200, making it Rihanna's second-longest charting release. This week, it rises from number 81 to number 77. On the genre charts, it reaches number 10 on Top R&B albums and number 22 on Top R&B hip-hop albums. Looking back, Anti had the bigger peak. It reached number 1 on the Billboard 200 Top R&B hip-hop albums and Top R&B albums. Good Girl Gone Bad peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200, number 3 on Top R&B hip-hop albums, and number 4 on top R&B albums. Lizzo also announced her next album. Lizzo has a new album on the way, and it comes with a blunt title. She announced that her next project is called Bitch, a 12-song album set for release on June 5th, with the title track due out first on May 1st. The rollout matters because this is a clear shift. Lizzo had been teasing a different project called Love in Real Life, but reports now say she has moved on to a separate album instead. She also said the title is about reclaiming a word that was once used to diminish women and turning it into confidence and self-love. She made the announcement on April 27th, the same day she turned 38, and used her birthday post to push the album pre-order. One caption read, quote, "Happy birthday to me," end quote, as she unveiled the project artwork and reminded fans that the new album is coming June 5th. The record also appears to pull from Lizzo's recent work. Sources say it includes Don't Make Me Love You, which was released in March, and the title track, Bitch, is said to interpolate Meredith Brooks's 1997 hit of the same name. This will be Lizzo's first album since 2022's Special, and it arrives after a stretch where she's kept busy with other projects and live appearances. But for now, the main takeaway is simple. Bitch is officially the next album, and the first new track lands on May 1st. Over in rock, King Gizzard had an update too. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard say their next album is finished. On April 24th, the Australian band posted that the record was made entirely on their modular synthesizer setup called Nathan. It's the latest move in a run that has already taken them through an all-electronic album in 2024 and Phantom Island in 2025. For now, though, there are no other concrete details about the new release. The article says the band had gone 10 months without putting out new music as of that date, so this update is the first clear sign that another project is ready to go. The band has also been talking more about how this electronic material came together. Drummer Michael Kavanagh said they spent a week in the studio last year, between tours, and just jammed for hours. Stu McKenzie has described 6 band members making improvised electronic music at once as something they had never really seen done before. And there's one more thread in the background. King Gizzard were recently in the studio in Australia with Billy Strings, but there still aren't any release plans attached to that music. Their only shows of 2026 are currently set for August at Field of Vision in Colorado and at Forest Hill Stadium in New York. Then, some music business news. Bandsintown has closed the loop with Amazon Music. Its concert listings will now appear on artist profile pages inside Amazon Music, and fans will get push notifications when artists they follow are playing near home. The deal matters because it adds live show discovery right where people are already listening. Users can also tap buy ticket buttons through Bandsintown, and Amazon Music will automatically surface events from venues, festivals, and promoters that use Bandsintown Pro. The rollout starts now, and Amazon Music says the full feature will be available this spring on both iOS and Android. Carolina Joynath-Singh, Amazon Music's Director of Business Development, said live music is one of the most powerful ways fans connect with artists. She said, "The new setup lets listeners find upcoming shows alongside streaming, live streams, and merch, all in one place. This is also not the first time the two companies have worked together." Amazon Music's merch offerings were already appearing within Bandsintown, and Bandsintown had previously partnered with Amazon Music back in 2023 to let artists sell merchandise on the streaming platform. Bandsintown says it tracks more than 2 million concerts and events a year, with more than 700,000 artists, more than 65,000 venues using Bandsintown Pro, and more than 100 million registered users. With this Amazon Music deal, it now has partnerships across the big 4 global streaming services. Billie Eilish was working on new music as well. Billie Eilish says her 4th album is already more than halfway done. In her new Elle cover story, she kept the details tight, but the update is clear. She and Phineas are deep into the next record, and she's still making it the same way she always has, by bouncing ideas back and forth with her brother. She also pushed back hard on the rumors that they've had a falling out. Billie said they've never had one and never will. She described their dynamic as messy in the normal sibling way, not broken. "We'll get in the biggest fight you've ever heard of in your life, and 5 minutes later, we're back, laughing and making music." That bond has been at the center of her career since 2015, when they broke out with Ocean Eyes. Since then, the two have won 10 Grammys together and became the first 3-time winners in Song of the Year history after What Was I Made For. Billie also said that even though she toured without Phineas for the first time on the Hit Me Hard and Soft run, that was a mutual choice, not a sign of trouble. Phineas said he doesn't love touring, but he loves the show part and loves being around Billie. The interview also touches on how she actually works. Billie said her favorite part of making music is listening back in the car, then going right back to the song. And while she's private about her life, she said that came after being filmed for 3 straight years as a teenager for an earlier documentary. At the same time, she's focused on her concert film, Hit Me Hard and Soft, the tour in 3D. She said she co-directed it with James Cameron, and footage was shown at CinemaCon in Las Vegas ahead of its May 8th release. Billie said the film is meant to give fans a VIP experience even if they can't make it to the shows. TXT has added another major US chart win with 7th Year, A Moment of Stillness in the Thorns. Billboard says the mini-album debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 and reached number 1 on the top album sales chart, making it the best-selling album of the week in the United States. That release also pushed TXT into another record book. With this album, they became the first K-pop artist in history to earn 9 number 1 albums on Billboard's top album sales chart. They also tied the record for the most top 5 albums on the Billboard 200 by a K-pop artist with 8 so far. The sales data behind the debut is just as strong. According to Luminate, the album earned 69,000 equivalent album units in the week ending April 23rd. Of that total, 67,000 came from traditional album sales, while 2,000 were streaming equivalent album units. Those streaming equivalent album units translate to 2.67 million on-demand audio streams for the week. So this was not just a strong chart placement for TXT, but a release that delivered solid sales and streaming numbers at the same time. Bruno Mars has 12 songs on at least one Billboard chart this week, and they're spread across different eras of his catalog. The main story is simple. His older hits are still moving, and newer songs from the album The Romantic are making fresh runs at the same time. On the Hot R&B hip-hop songs chart, God Was Showing Off comes back in at number 46, with Cha 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 right behind it at number 48. I Just Might is still holding firm at number 1 there, and it's now spent 14 weeks on the chart without giving up the top spot. That older momentum carries over to streaming, too. That's what I like. Returns to the R&B streaming songs chart at number 14. The song has now logged 71 turns on that chart, and 15 of them have been at number 1, which keeps it as Mars's longest charting success there. Meanwhile, Risk It All keeps building in a different way. It re-enters the digital song sales chart at number 23, after previously peaking at number 2. And on radio, it sets new highs on 3 charts at once, reaching number 9 on Rhythmic Airplay, number 11 on Adult R&B Airplay, and number 18 on radio songs. There's also a milestone tied to that radio push, with Risk It All. Climbing to number 9 on Rhythmic Airplay, Mars picks up his 22nd top 10 on that tally, and I Just Might is still rising on Dance Mix Show Airplay too, moving from number 20 to number 15, its highest mark there so far. Taylor Swift used a New York Times interview to finally answer a question Swifties have been chewing on for years: why she changed a line in our song from real low to real slow. Her answer was simple. She said she didn't want the 2 words to repeat the same letter sound, so the lyric had to change. That interview was part of the Times series on the 30 greatest living American songwriters, and it doubled as a wide-ranging look at how Swift writes. She talked about starting songs in a flash, how public life feeds her lyrics, and even her own annoyance with fans who turn every song into a guessing game about a real person. She said, "Some people take that detective work to a really extreme place, and that it can get weird when listeners act like the songs are some kind of paternity test." She also got more personal about the writing process with Jack Antonoff. Swift said the 2 of them came up with what they call a rant bridge, which she described as a burst of emotion, intrusive thoughts, metaphor, and shouting all at once. And just to shut down the feud chatter, she called Antonoff a collaborator of mine and one of my best friends. Their history goes back to 2013, and even though he was not on her 2025 album, Life of a Showgirl, she said their long partnership still matters. The interview also pulled back the curtain on a new song, Elizabeth Taylor. Swift said that one came to her after a car ride with Travis Kelce when she was explaining why she admired Elizabeth Taylor so much. She said the idea hit her once they got home, turning into the line, quote, "I cry my eyes violet, Elizabeth Taylor," end quote. Elsewhere in the interview, Swift revisited All Too Well, saying the original version came from an emotional sound check rant during Speak Now rehearsals, and that she later had to piece together fragments for the 10-minute version. She also said, criticism has been a creative prompt for her, not a dead end. That leads into a copyright case with a much longer history. Kraftwerk have lost one of the longest-running copyright cases in music history over a sample from their 1977 track, Metal auf Metal. The dispute goes back to a 2-second excerpt used in Sabrina Settler's 1997 Ong Nur Mir, produced by Moses Pelham and Martin Haas. What makes this ruling important is the legal line it draws around sampling. A previous 2019 decision said a recognizable sample can count as infringement unless it's altered until it's no longer identifiable. But on April 14th, the Court of Justice of the European Union in Luxembourg said there is an exception for pastiche. In the court's view, a work can qualify as pastiche if it evokes an existing recording in a recognizable but transformed way, stays notably different from the original, and creates an artistic or creative dialogue with it. In practical terms, the ruling means the court accepted that Pelham and Haas's use of the sample fits that category. That is a defeat for Kraftwerk in a case that has stretched from the late 90s. And while that legal fight was being settled, Kraftwerk also lined up new activity of their own. Their multimedia tour begins in Dublin on May 17th, runs for 17 dates across the UK and Ireland, includes 3 nights at London's Royal Albert Hall on June 4th, 5, and 6, and wraps in Edinburgh on June 9th. The group also has a vivid 50th anniversary re-release of Radioactivity due out on May 15th. Next, a release campaign built for fans online and in person. Olivia Rodrigo's new single, Drop Dead, is getting a full rollout through TikTok and Interscope Records. TikTok is hosting karaoke events in 24 cities, and fans can enter through a dedicated in-app hub. The platform also launched a listening party on April 17th through the Drop Dead song page. The campaign leans heavily on fan participation. TikTok is highlighting videos from people using the hashtag DropDeadKaraoke, while Spotify and Apple Music are each rolling out their own version of the music video. Rodrigo is also keeping the song in the live spotlight. On Sunday night, April 26th, she showed up unannounced at Pete's Candy Store in Williamsburg and played Drop Dead for a small Brooklyn crowd. The performance was stripped back, and according to the article, it leaned into the song's emotional core. That Brooklyn appearance fits into a run of smaller, under-the-radar shows tied to her 3rd studio album, You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love, which is due June 12th via Geffen. Drop Dead had already been introduced live earlier in the month during a surprise appearance at Addison Rae's Coachella set, and just days before the Brooklyn open mic, Rodrigo played an invite-only show at the Echo in Los Angeles, where Wise Blood joined her, and she debuted more new material. A Rolling Stones story follows. A new book claims Mick Jagger nearly died of a heroin overdose in 1976 after buying drugs in New York. According to the account, he was 33 at the time. He collapsed at a friend's apartment after a night out. His lips turned blue and an ambulance was called. Oxygen then helped him start breathing again. The claim comes from Marshall Chess in Bob Spitz's new biography of the Rolling Stones. Chess says he tried mouth-to-mouth and panicked, saying, quote, "I didn't know what else to do. I was freaked. Mick Jagger is going to die in my apartment," end quote. The book says Jagger and Chess had gone to buy a gram of heroin from a Buddhist dealer after a party in New York. It's a stark story from the band's past, and it lands now as Jagger remains active at 82 with Keith Richards, also 82, and Ronnie Wood, 78. At the same time, the Rolling Stones are reportedly finishing a new album, said to be called Foreign Tongues, with a new track, Mr. Charm, expected out on Saturday, but there are no plans for a tour, even as surviving band members are expected to promote the record. Back to sales figures in K-pop, and Team has a new sales high with We on Fire, which moved about 1.2 million copies. According to South Korea's Hanteo chart, the EP sold more than 1 million copies worldwide as soon as it dropped on April 21st, then climbed to nearly 1.24 million in the first 7 days. That first week total is enough to set a new best for the group. It tops the 1.22 million mark they set with Back to Life, their debut Korean EP last October. So this release not only passed a major sales milestone fast, it also became and Team's strongest week yet. The update also fits into a bigger chart milestone for the Hybe-backed group. Before this, and Team had already become the first Japanese artist to reach million-seller status on both the Korean and Japanese charts. We close the music history lane with the Beatles. John Lennon's lyric, quote, "My mother was of the sky, my father was of the earth, but I am of the universe," end quote, comes from Your Blues, a track on the Beatles' White Album, which came out in 1968. The song was written while Lennon and the band were in Rishikesh, India. It captures a moment when the Beatles were changing fast, with more personal writing, more experimentation, and less of the tight collaboration they were known for earlier. That shift also shows up in how Your Blues was recorded. Instead of a big studio setup, the Beatles played it live together in a very small room at Abbey Road Studio. The result is a song tied to a specific year, a specific place, and a band already moving in a different direction. OpenStage has launched something called Fanbase API, a toolkit that lets artists build custom fan apps powered by fan data. And it's not arriving as a theoretical product. The company says it's going out with two prominent clients right away, Gorillaz and Youngblood. For Gorillaz, the platform is being used to launch Kong Studios, their virtual world. That setup includes digital wallet passes that unlock tickets, content, chamana, and new parts of the world. Youngblood is using the same system for his new YBHQ fan community, which opened its waitlist earlier this month. The bigger pitch from OpenStage is about ownership. Chief Product Officer Rob Abelo says, quote, "Your fans log in to your world, not someone else's. Their data belongs to you," end quote. In other words, the company is framing Fanbase API as a way for artists to build direct fan spaces while keeping control of the data those fans generate. That's our April recap.